everybody, this is Kayla Mueller for Dr. Pettit's Research Design Project, and I just want to pose this question to you. Have you ever taught an amazing lesson and your students were engaged, everything was going smoothly, the activities worked beautifully, the exit ticket, your students demonstrated the learning target, and then you give the weekly test and they bomb it? Well, that is what is happening to me in my third grade class. So, my problem is they're failing their comprehension weekly tests on their weekly story. And it doesn't matter what kind of reading it is. It can be informational text, it could be nonfiction, it could be fiction. All my activities go smoothly and our lessons are going well, the targets are being met, they're engaged, they seem like they're learning, the exit tickets are going well, and the weekly tests are low. They're bombing them. Majority of my class. So my problem is, why are they failing the comprehension part of the weekly assignments, no matter what I do? I picked this research because I want my students to learn. I want my students' frustration levels to go down in comprehension, and I don't want their self-esteem to go any lower than it already is lowering. A lot of my parents have been coming to me with concerns about their comprehension grades, and I have to relate those same concerns with them and telling them I'm trying everything I can possibly do, and it's just not working. And giving those answers to parents is a frustration for me, a frustration for them, and a frustration for my students, and this cannot continue to go on. I don't want the roller coaster data that I'm seeing, that 1 minute their comprehension tests are adequate, and then the next they're completely bombed, and then the self-esteem goes down again. So far in my classroom, I have 20 students currently. That has changed many times this semester, this year, really. I've gone up to 28 students, down to 18, now I'm at 20. So right now, out of the 20, I have 9 males and 11 females. 50% are white in my classroom, and 35 are Hispanic, 10% are African American, and I have 5% of Asian in my classroom. I currently teach at Hoff Elementary in 3rd grade, and I have been there for 2 years now. This is my first time teaching 3rd grade, and I love it. It's definitely a challenge being in a tested area for them, but my advantage to this was I got to loop with these students. So most of my students right now I taught in 2nd grade, and I looped up with them. They did not have as much comprehension problems in 2nd grade than they did in 3rd grade. And I'm not sure why that is. The comprehension strategies that I used in 2nd grade seem to work, and they're not working as effectively in 3rd grade. So again, my problem is 3rd grade comprehension. Hoff Elementary is located on the north side of Pueblo, in Pueblo, Colorado, and it is in the Belmont area. We have 13 teachers that teach at Hoff Elementary, so we're a relatively small school. The research I have found so far for the causes of lack of comprehension skills is a lot. I found many articles on the lack of vocabulary strategies, so the students are not understanding the vocabulary, maybe in the questions that they're supposed to be answering. The inability to interact with the text, so the students are not able to connect with the text, they don't understand it, it doesn't relate to them in their real life. I found several on the students just don't know what comprehension strategies work for them. They just do what they're kind of told, and that's not working because all students learn in different ways. They have difficulty at the phonetics, so if I have lower readers, they're not going to comprehend the text because they're concentrating too much on sounding out those words. They have a lack of a sight word base. They have a lack of prior knowledge again, so their background knowledge is not connecting with their readers. They don't know how to inference the text. The teachers are giving too much information at one time, and they're not giving enough time for the students to comprehend all the information being given to them at one time. And the teachers are not teaching research-based reading comprehension strategies that work in the classroom. Some reading comprehension strategies work for outside of the classroom or higher education, but they won't work for elementary students. So the solutions to these problems I have found is you have to be able to somehow connect the reading with the students. They have to have some sort of background knowledge or connection or love for the topic that you're reading, because if they're not excited about it, then they're not going to read. You have to implement many cognitive strategies and metacognitive strategies. Implement story mapping was a huge one. A lot of the research that I have found did story mapping for visualization strategies, and the results of this have been very positive and amazing, and those scores have skyrocketed for lower performing students that struggle with reading comprehension. Also, visual imagery strategies, which is similar to the mental strategies, but the visualization part of it is also huge. A lot of studies have been done on that research topic, and again, the research has proven that visual imagery will really help with the students' comprehension of text when they're reading it or when they're interacting with it. Language strategies, so again, comes back to vocabulary. They have to know the vocabulary base. Social interactions, some research design projects that I have researched said that they need to talk about it, the students need to be able to act it out, and that will help them, again, go into their mental imagery. They're having that visual picture, so that's all connected. That's the pattern that I'm kind of starting to see during my research. They need mental imagery, so again, back to the mental imagery. I found several articles on teaching students how to monitor their reading and how to monitor their visual imagery. So again, it's relating back to the visual and the mental. Several articles on the questioning. They answer and ask themselves questions with their peer partner, so that's part of the social. Also, summarizing strategy that helps with them just talking it out. So again, goes back to the social. The inferring, back to the questioning, asking them with their partner or asking themselves or asking with the teacher. So again, that goes back with the socialization piece. And mnemonic devices, also engagement again. I found a lot of engagement of the rehearsal of the texts. The teachers to schedule distributive practice for the students. Engage in the deep processing. So again, back to the questioning piece and the peer interaction piece and the social imagery piece. The link the method, so again, background knowledge, and the method of block-eye, keywords, back to the vocabulary piece, and the students have to be organized. If they feel that they're not organized, then it's not going to work. So I will be looking for in my further research on comprehension strategies for low readers, and really the theme that I'm finding is visual imagery related to mental imagery and the socialization, which I think if the students are acting it out, then they are also having that mental picture and the bodily kinesthetic. So those are the topics that I'm going to kind of direct my research towards, because that's the common theme. Definitely the mental, definitely the visual, and definitely the social interaction. So I have discovered that I was having a hard time with this topic because I was researching a very narrow topic of just visualization, because I heard a lot about it, but I didn't know a lot about it. So I was just like, visual imagery, and my data was really very minor. I couldn't find a lot of articles about it. I couldn't find a lot of information about it. But then when I realized that I needed to broaden my search and really just do struggling reading comprehension strategies, it really broadened, and the theme was still there. The theme of all those articles was visual imagery, sensory, the visual, the mental imagery, the visualization, the social interaction. The themes were all there, what I was looking for, but I just couldn't find it with my one keyword search of visualization. So I need to stay away from that and just do reading comprehension strategies, because that's my main problem. Why are my students failing the comprehension weekly test, no matter what the text is? Hopefully, I can figure this out soon through this class, because my students need me, and I need them, and my parents need me. And there's a lot riding on our shoulders as teachers know. Thank you for listening.